shout, oh yo yo, Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. Mayegun the command of the masses, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. Mayegun diary political, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not day of in mind, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he dey hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, Mayegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo.
Hello there. Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you, and good early moment to you, especially in America, as you are watching this live. So this is Mayegun live, and it is also Sunday sermon, the first in 2023. You are welcome. Sunday sermon to the members of the Temple of Truth. They are not new to Sunday sermon. It is different from, hey, I didn't mean balabulu or whatever. I mean, Sunday sermon is different from other programs on Mayegun's Diary Political. I'll tell you about it.
Lórí Facebook.
Share this broadcast, invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and then tell them that it, indeed, Mayegun today. Oh. I will say, I'll talk. Absolutely. Share the broadcast. Read the caption as well. Read the description of this broadcast as well. And then sit back and relax. Sunday sermon is a segment on Mayegun's Diary Political that we call No Holds Bar Session. This is the segment and session where the truth, or should I say, my bluntness, may be a little bit insulting to some of you. My prayer, my kind of prayer, may be sounding like curses to some of you on the Sunday sermon segment of Mayegun's Diary Political. I know they hold my tongue, and I am responsible for everything that comes out of my mouth. Worry about yourselves. I will worry about me. That's how it should go. So on Sunday sermon, if you are the type who is religious, I may say some certain things that you may be offended and feel like, oh, it's attacking my religion. No, I am not. You might be the type that believe that you are so refined, a gentleman, and a politically correct person. And you might find me a little bit annoying. I am saying all of this in order to tell you that for your own sake, if you are the type who is a unity beggar, glory hunters, as well as, attention seekers for the political criminals in Nigeria, this is the segment that I can say what I would say that can get you a little bit shifty. I advise you to opt out now. This may not be for you. So, for others, tell them, pé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Ayé ẹ̀sùnràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé.
Brethren, in the temple of truth, shall we start? Shall we? Share it, sir.
Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnràkì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀.
Mi ò gbẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnràkì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀.
Thank you very much. And thanks so much for joining the service. This is a Sunday sermon on Mayegun's Diary Political. Today, we want to talk about the Olori Buruku Mashanfanis, the Lagos Abobakus, the Oshogbo Alimajiris, the humbled slaves, the sophisticated morons, and their distant cousins and relatives, the Buharidins, the Buhari Didirins, the Buhari Dinotus, the Buhari Dijatus, the Buhari Shukus, the Ungoziaris, the Uneka Aris, the Mumumadus, the Bele lecturers, the Mumu lecturers, the social media bandit, Facebook artsmen, and the rest of the Sai barbarians. I'm talking about the Sai barbarian clans. And these are those we are going to call out today. And the reason we are going to call them out today is because they are about to unleash, going to do it, latching on the sufferings, the killings that APC, Egbekegbe, unleashed on Nigeria from the 29th of May, 2015. They are distancing themselves from it because suddenly the cabal, as they claim, is about to make them and Kolu lose an election. Right, the story. How many of you have noticed that in Nigeria, since the APC, Egbekegbe, the Apayon People's Congress, Al-Qaeda People's Congress, since they came in, have you noticed that you've not really seen any form of a successful protest in Nigeria Since then, what you have been witnessing has been an anarchy, terror unleashed on you forever, grouping or coming together against any policy of this Boko Haram People's Congress. So they will unleash terror on you. And when the terror are unleashed on you, dear hallelujah boys, the Buhari idiots, the cyberbarians, Facebook adsmen, social media bandits, they will justify those terror on you in the last 7.5 years. Do you know why? Because those who usually organize and pay for protest to get what they wanted politically in Nigeria have always successfully been us, the Yorubas, and the Tinubu camp, who have leveraged on that. It all started from the early 90s. And all of the political dramas, the killings of the 90s, they are produced the today's tormentors that you see today. It all started from Yoruba land. I tell you. And it's one of the reasons why somehow, the northern political criminals, they always find leverage easily with their Yoruba counterparts who are ready to help them form the coalition of protesters, including the NLC, you call them then. And I think that's what brought the relationship of Oshiomole and Tinubu in the first place. But the moment APC, Egbekegbe, came in, all they had to do was to tell the APC government then that if you see any protest anywhere, shoot them down. We are the people that would normally amplify such atrocities and then organize the biggest of the biggest protests where propaganda will follow it as well, locally and internationally. They are those. So the moment APC, Egbekegbe, came in, they started giving them appointments. They started giving them jobs. And that's how the civil society group in Nigeria, that's how they died a natural death. Majority of their founders are now members of APC, Egbekegbe, courtesy Tinubu and gang. So they crushed labor movement, they crushed civil movement, they crushed every other one, and they ensured that at least they were working for a day that they will get paid back by this Boko Haram gang, the CPC jihadists in APC. They were killing people in Yoruba land. My fellow Yoruba brothers and sisters who are Lagos, Abobaku, Soshogu, Alimajiris, crumb eaters, crumb chasers, ass lickers, all risers. They were defending Boko Haram. You will never believe it. That's some people were saying, oh, this is in a juju. It's not juju, it is greed and selfishness. And all for a time like this, for a smooth transition of power to Tinubu as a reward for his unchanged loyalty. Now, that loyalty is meant to be paid back, especially this month. They are feeling that for the first time, after all you have been through in the hands of APC, Egbekegbe in Nigeria, this is the first time that they now feel like what they have done to you, what they are doing to you is going to cost them an election. And the people behind it are those inside the Boko Haram's asshole rock. Cowards, they couldn't even say it. So Kolu blew the dog whistle in Abeokuta when he said, Egbe pamo, Egbe naira pamo, Etoribo, Amadibo, Amawole. The way was blowing a dog whistle then. Listen.
Egbe pamo, Egbe naira pamo, Amadibo, Amawole, Amadibo.
Who is the people? Who are those behind naira pamo, epo pamo. It was a dog whistle. A dog whistle that, listen, there is already a perfected plan to sabotage our plan. And here is the plan. Tinubu's plan is to sabotage the electoral process. Flood it with enough money that only those who are ready to outspend him would actually have to defeat him. Now, that is one strategy that Emefiole went and rushed to Buhari, and that if he is allowed, is going to cost Nigeria hyperinflation. What you are witnessing right now is just going to be the beginning of what you are still going to see. And they said Emefiole misled Buhari. So Buhari is now making it so difficult for them to move their logistics. They call them logistics to sabotage the election. And that is why Tinubu says Buhari and gang, they want to sabotage his own victory. Do you see the saboteur versus saboteurs now? Now this is APC versus APC. But when they had the chance of seeing Buhari, when Kolu had the chance of telling Buhari to his face, why are you hiding fuel? Why are you hiding the new Naira note? What is all of these things about? He couldn't utter a word. He was there praising him. Thank you very much. Thank you, and all those sedimented, incoherent statements, right? However, on the ground, they are already scheming. So tomorrow, okay, they want all of you to join them in a nationwide protest. APC versus APC. APC want to protest against APC, and they want you to join them to demand that Buhari must go. He said Buhari has failed. He failed F level. They had to tell him F level. No F level. Ashiwaju is F9 parallel. And it was like, yeah, F9. That was Kolu. 1 second though. So this is where the whole thing started. Actually started sounding funny. In this our lifetime, right before our own life, that we are not dead though, or demented though. APC, Egbe, they want to protest. They want to protest against the fuel scarcity, Naira scarcity. And it is because it is going to cost them an election if they don't. So they need you, Baba. Now, where the whole thing started getting a little bit funny, then annoying too, playing on your psychic. When the revolution now, Omoyele Sowore, was out, demanding for justice for the victims of police brutality, demanding then for good governance, and then the hashtag revolution now, Buhari must go. We know what happened. In Kano, Deji Adeyanju. In Abuja, Deji Adeyanju, and then the APC thugs. You know their story, Abi? Omoyele Sowore and the APC thugs in Abuja. You know their story. All of this in the last 8 years, and those they have killed for standing up against them, where the APC, you will see all these Olori Buruku, Mashamfani, Tinubu people on social media, right? They are Yoruba, so. And suddenly, we started seeing the trait of a jihadist in Yoruba land, where horrible things, right, done under Buhari's government are justified by these Mashamfanis, who have actually nothing else than to blackmail you. Say, are you not a Yoruba man? Are you not supposed to They want to blackmail you for a drug dealer, a drug baron, right? A thief, and at the same time, associate of the jihadist, somebody who was deaf, dumb, blind for 7.5 years, on everything that Buhari did. But just 20 days to their charade elections, they now feel like Buhari has done a lot of wrongs, and they are now on your side. So they are going to protest on Monday. Look at this. According to them, they are like cowards to start with, okay? Coward in the sense that the only person, right, who has the control over whether you are redesigning the Naira or not is the president of Nigeria. And the political party in power is APC, Egbekegbe. Over time, Tinubu has been trying to distance himself from APC, Egbekegbe, in some instance, to cover up the failure of APC, right? Tinubu and gang, they decided to abandon or ignore everything that Buhari claimed to have achieved as his own government achievement, whatever. So they decided to go and start claiming every other thing in Lagos, how Tinubu built Lagos, right? So all of these are their efforts to try and be like, you know what I mean? They are not part of it anymore. I have told you many times that you see all these pretenders, these jobless miscreants, these political jobbers, right? Who speak and defend these criminals every day. Bunch of never-do-wells to start with. Product of a ruined and destroyed Nigeria, right? They, for years, like I said, right? They stood in the gap, all waiting for what they could get, even when they know Nigeria was going down the drain. In 7 years, none of these guys protested anything, by the way, okay? But in 7 years, Nigeria went from 13 million unemployed people, official, to over 80 million unemployed today. Nigeria went from over 60 million people living in poverty, official, to over 133 million Nigerians living in multi-dimensional poverty. That's their record. The debt of Nigeria grew from what it was then, $13 billion we had, to what you now have today, over $110 billion debt. To destroy the Naira, the currency. And they took it back then from 200 Naira to over 800 Naira at a point. Nigeria oil production, right, crashed under these criminals from 2 million barrels a day. It dwindled straight down to a paltry 800,000 barrels a day. And Nigeria was losing over 750,000 crude oil barrels a day. For 7 years, trillions of your money ended up in the hands of rogues who are part of this criminal gang called APC. Poverty grew, insecurity grew, to the point that the terrorists in Nigeria have never been punished, and they will never be under APC. We now have in a country that used to battle Boko Haram in Northeast, Borno State. Now Nigeria have to battle with a lot of terrorists that have now become industry In Nigeria, where terrorists now even have access to the new notes before you, the Nigerians, yourselves. So no terrorist is on trial, but they have a camp filled with over 180,000 repentant terrorists. But you know what they're doing? The terrorists who have been terrorizing Nigeria all this while, kidnapping people, kidnapping children, raping them, forcing them to have kids for them. So they returned as repentant with the children they kidnapped, who are now with other children too. And then Nigeria said they are repentant terrorists, over 180,000 of them. And guess what? No single one terrorist is on trial up to tomorrow. So they ruined everything. Human rights abuses was like a normal thing. So the same people who defended Buhari for 8 years, it is about to touch them. Now they want to activate their old cells of protest organizers. They have been, we have heard that they have moved money across Nigeria right now. The program is going to be activated by the governors of APC, Egbekegbe, and PDP, so that you don't think they are not in this whole thing together. It's a big thing, especially any state you see the G5, PDP, they are part of the plot. So what they would do is that they are going to mobilize and pay for these different protests that are going to be demanding for the resignation of Emefiole, okay, and the extension of the deadline. Part of what they are demanding for right now, right, that is about to create this chaos that they're about to put together, leveraging on the sufferings that APC unleashed on you. So APC is mobilizing in a way that at first you are, they are asking Buhari that they want the deadline to be extended to June 31st. They didn't even think it through. There is no June 31st. But they put it on their document in the Senate. And everywhere they've been pushing it. They want Emefiole and Buhari, but they can't ask Buhari publicly. So they will put Emefiole's name on different banners from tomorrow. You see them everywhere. They're going to start. And you're going to see numbers of them. They will pay people, right? They will organize it in a way that you would think is legit. All of these are just to push the hand of Buhari, because their demand is that they should extend it. And not just that, the old Naira and the new Naira, they must coexist from now until June. Buhari is saying, no, we are going to release more money, new notes. The deadline is 10th of February. After that, if you still have the Naira note, you cannot use it to buy anything, but you can take it to the bank and they will change it for you. Now, to force their hand in the next 5 days, more than 20 states are going to start the fake protest soon. And some of you are advised to stay away. It is APC versus APC. Oh, now fraud. So their intention is, as we have been told, except they are allowed to rig your election, APC is done and done for. The last fight is not with you. It is with themselves. And the only way they can use this is to leverage on your own complaints. And yes, 20 states will start and activate it. And they want Emefiole to be removed. But they won't mention Buhari. Others are saying, no, we would have to put it together. Buhari has failed Nigerians. That is the only way Nigerians will join us. You know, all of you are like, have been outside. We did in trenches, and have been taking all the bullets from the APC murderous regime, right? Today, they want to associate with you. They want to say, oh, there's been insecurity. There's been this. There's been that. It's not the policy of APC. It is the policy of those working with Buhari. And they will pay people. They will pay you money. if they have not started paying already. So Seyi Makinde already announced that protesting is your right. You can go out and protest peacefully. In Ibadan, you know what they did? They gave money to thugs. Most of the thugs who actually make their money just like the carnivorous animals. I mean, not be the animals where they chop meat and chop bones. What did they call them where they chop bones? The cocoa. Carnivorous. So they eat what they kill. Do you get that? And they have to kill every day. How do they kill? They have to extort people. They have to steal from people for them to live so they live for the day. Thugs, tout, motopark tout and them. So they mobilize them to start destroying bank properties. All of these are to create an artificial chaos. But the way things are going, I can tell you this free of charge. It is all coming from the position of frustration. Don't deceive yourself about some of the display they are putting up. Even Buhari can save APC. You understand? Things have gone beyond what they can control. But nevertheless, why not make a last push? Pretend that we are fighting for the people. If we can mobilize thousands of people for our rallies, we can, instead of putting them in grouping them in a place, we can put them on the streets, pay them money and give them some banners and all of that, and demand for this and that, and show the video to Buhari and say, the country is blowing up. Oh. Because remember, El Rufaya did one. He said, they know that some people inside Buhari's government working to sabotage Tinubu, the way they want to make sure that APC loses the election, right? And their effort is not just going to make APC lose election. It can destroy Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, the mechanism, the process of destroying Nigeria in their desperation is about to be activated. And I tell you this, they are capable. So when they say Buhari must go, I am urging you to say Buhari must stay, finish the shege, destroy everything, and nobody should pretend about anything. Don't let anybody drag you onto their side, because you are not on their side. They have never been on yours. And for this last few weeks, for the last 3 weeks now, for the next 3 weeks rather, trust me, they will do anything. They will say anything just to get what they want. Afterward, they can go and relax. Now, I don't know what you're going to do or not, right? The man that is urging the people to go out and fight and protest tomorrow, when he saw Buhari, he couldn't say it to his face. This was yesterday in Nasarawa, I believe.
You fought hard.
Your Excellency.
APC. APC. Nasarawa. Nasarawa. Nigeria. Nigeria. Jagaban. Everybody vote for Jagaban. Jagaban. Everybody vote for Jagaban. Is the one we want. Everybody vote for Jagaban. Jagaban. Everybody vote for Jagaban. God bless you. Your Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the leader of APC worldwide. It is a joy for me to see that you are a poster board for APC and Bola Tinubu today. Standing up there, we see the poster of Bola Tinubu so prominently on you. Those who think there can be scratches and cracks in our friendship and relationship will continue to be disappointed and are their short-time joys limited. Ours is not about individual, it's about the nation building. It's about honesty, integrity, and character. You've been a great man of political credential. Nobody ever thought that a man in uniform, called sometimes camouflage, will ever be a democratic, principled, honored, with great value. Today, to have you here to talk about democracy and our party, it's a joy and honor for us who joined hands with you some 20 years ago to reshape Nigeria, to fight corruption, to fight destitution.
Ṣé ń gbọ́ wèrè? Ṣé ń gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu bàbá wèrè? Ìwọ tí, especially you that typed, God forgive you for all this thing all this gutter you are saying about Ashua. Ayé ẹ̀ máa ta ni. Àmì ni ó ṣe o. Ṣé o gbọ́? Because the only change that they did in your miserable lives, APC, ẹgbẹ́kẹ́gbẹ́, may I show you again? 2015, 2022, 2015, 2022. Àáfàá ń sanra ọmọ ìjọ ń rù. You olórí burúkú má ṣàǹfààní. You are asking God to forgive somebody that is talking about the olórí burúkús that some of you are actually looking up to, as they are making your existence even more miserable. You don't know, say, people actually know the difference between the real God, for those who have faith and believe in God that much, you are religious, and your fake Nigeria God, the one that is always like preserve you for punishment, for destruction, except he shows you mercy. You know what I mean? Like grace. Or else you are ruined. You don't mean anything. That your Nigerian God, destructive one, that preserve you for destruction. No, it's a useless God. It doesn't exist. It exists in your warped mind. And that is why it allowed criminals, sick men and women, greedy narcotic peddlers as your role model. So don't ask God to forgive me. You should just ask your fake God to stop lying to you that it actually exists. It doesn't. Now back to the story. When they say they want to change Nigeria, they were changing their lives. And I've just shown you a picture of that. The real facts and what have you out there proves that every day, people are supposed to wake up. You will turn to the east. You will curse APC. You will turn to the north. You will curse APC. You will go straight to the, sorry, I don't mix them. This is west, east. So you go to the east, west, and south. Every day, if you see anybody that says, I'm a member of APC, you're supposed to hold them like this and curse them to their faces and say, because you are an existential enemy to what actually makes me human. Or you olori buruku salatenu jess, raised, begotten ignorant morons who follow the same pattern of these rogues. Even when you see the result of their criminality, you are the result of their criminality because you are the victims of their criminality. For 7 years, they plunged millions of you into further poverty, mostly the young people. You probably don't know. And you are praying to one God, that your fake Nigerian God, Abi, to come and show you mercy, to come and show you the way, to come and bless you. I pray to God to come and bless me. But you are sheeris. Alakpamashishe Tifun Lawrence. You are either in the APC, Egbekegbe, that is ruining your lives every day, and you are praying to your fake God. How do you cope? I mean, how do you manage that? Tinubu saw Buhari face to face. And he started singing his praises. Is that not what most of you do? Is that not what you do? Sing the praises of your oppressors, then hope that something changes. Hope that maybe God, your fake God, touches their heart. And you weary, boo me, abuse me, you know new, but just say what I'm saying to you is a lie. Àti Buhari, àti Tinubu, wọ́n ní jọ kúre. Ọkàn yín àtẹ̀yin olórí burúkú tẹ́ ń tẹ̀lé wọn, ọkàn gbogbo yín pátápátá ò ní balẹ̀. Ẹ ṣàmì. If I pray for you, say amen. Ọkàn yín ò ní balẹ̀. And if they can't say amen, you can let me say amen for them. You know why? Who do you really think you are actually playing? Like, which world are you living in? If you agree today that Buhari has destroyed Nigeria, I mean, are you she normal? Like, how do you even like feel confident to go out there, right? And boldly say it is not the fault of Tinubu that Buhari failed. Therefore, Tinubu is different from Buhari. Why am I asking? That's what you should be telling them. Don't go and be typing anything that you want to advise all these series. I've told you there's a clip on my Organised political. Don't try to change their mind. You can't. It is only life experience that will actually teach them something. They are also hoping, they said, you will learn a lesson. People will want to teach people lesson. Are frustrated now. They want to organize protests against their own political party. And they don't see how mad that is. It was in Nasarawa yesterday, laughing and praising the Buhari. His agents are moving money everywhere, organizing what is going to be what tomorrow. And on and on and on like that. Because what? Except Buhari give them what they want. Forget it, there will be no election. So if they want to do it for themselves, just remember something. They have the capacity to organize their rallies. No go die for their war, except if you are a closet APC, Egbekegbe member. Or if you are a closet latrine member of Agbadomaiti, Tinubu's gang of Omualis in Yoruba land. I've told you this many times. They said that when the Omualis, the bastard in the house, when they are not really told who their fathers, if you don't show them who their fathers are, or if you don't let them know that they are indeed black sheep in the family, eventually they will say that to the real sons and daughters of the land. The Omualis in Yoruba land are no other than those criminals that you call our leader, and Yoluri Brukwa, Alagbe Uniya. Our leaders. And then you see what they have done with Yoruba land. You see what they have done with your lives. So if you are looking for the real bastards in Yoruba land, there are those who have actually held Yoruba land down for whatever Nigeria is doing to us today. And thank God that today a lot of people have actually come to realize that they can never be blackmailed into this Tinubu's madness. If you follow, you die in their war. The same way APC, you remember they are actually like this. Some of these Ashiris, they will come here and call Mayegun enemy of Nigeria, because Mayegun is amplifying the effort of the resistance, the people who can no longer take or keep quiet or take whatever APC Egbekegbe is dishing out, which they knew would be disastrous. Indeed, they became disastrous for Nigeria. Why was here? Telling you, look at what they are doing to these people. They will do it to you too. Look at what they are doing to these people. They will still do it to you. When they are done with all of this, they will come for you too. Now it seems that the time to go for them is now. Tinubu is declaring a war on Buhari. And it is all because the center can no longer hold. For them to be planning and plotting a protest against Buhari, the leader of their own presidential campaign, in the same country where they are in government, let them go and die in their own war. And you can now call on Buhari's murderous tank. We hope you will do justice to all of them. The same way they've been asking you to do justice to people who rejected all these murderous policies of APC. So we hope that, you know, when they launch all of these attacks in the next coming days, I would also share them with you. You know, I told you that they are cowards, Abi. Today, they've lost the ground, they've lost the social media, they've lost the streets, they've lost the real media as well. The whole place is like a choking and coming closer and closer and closer. That's the reality. So this is the frustration level. But they are still cowards too. They can't publicly say, Buhari do this, Buhari do that. Somebody said, Tinubu build Lagos. There's something I'm going to share with you. I want to play this other part. He had the chance of telling Buhari that, why are you hiding fuel? Why are you hiding this? But rather, he was praising him. This is the same Nasarawa yesterday. And I'll bring you something. Facts, not fiction, about Lagos. Just for the sake of this chat. Hang on there.
Your Excellency.
APC. You fought hard. You worked hard. Yes, Nigeria is surviving as a nation. And we believe, because of constitutional democracy, we would have asked you to stay on, but you said no. This is constitutional democracy. I'm going back to Daura, my farm, my cows, I miss them. Not that I don't miss you people. Not that I don't appreciate you people. But there is more to do in life and with time to transform Nigeria. I will step aside and let you other people try and continue. I have built a foundation. You have done it. There are only very few leaders who had faced dissident, civil disobedience and civil war, and at the same time continue to build infrastructure. One of them in that class is Abraham Lincoln. You will join the history of those men. Great men. Wow. Courageous men. Wow. Who can stay focused in the midst of distractions and enemies. I know that the ants are small pet animals and insects, but they can get a giant naked if care is not taken. Wow, wonderful. You've resisted bad manners. You've tolerated criticism. There's no labeling that you've avoided. But today in Nasarawa, you are celebrated, commissioning project after project. Thank you, Mr. President. We definitely on a skating board, but we will work hard. We promise you that your children and grandchildren will have no regret about nation and ourselves. Mr. President.
Sheng Bowiri. Abegbo. That is the man that the Agbado boys are organizing a protest for. They call it nationwide Buhari must go protest. Go where? They are trying to say that Buhari doesn't want to go. Listen to this, dog whistle. That is why Kolu in Abeokuta, sure you get, was singing Ekwinara Pamo, Egbekpo Pamo, Torikale lose, Emma Dibo, Emma Wole. So as he was praising Tinubu, as he was praising Buhari in Nasarawa yesterday, his boys are sharing money for tomorrow, Monday, for their protest. Are you with me? Let's go back to that dog whistle.
Amadibo.
Amawole. Amadibo.
Amawole. Amadibo. Amawole. Bá pàrọ̀ igi ara náírà. ẹni náwó kẹ́ẹ̀dọ̀ ní gbèsè ibi tẹ́ bá gbójú sí ọ̀nà òní gbàbẹ̀ àwa la máa wọlé àwọn ẹlẹ́gbẹ́ alábùradà yẹn wọ́n máa ṣe kí ni o wọ́n máa lulẹ̀.
Àkọ́bí àwọn tí pẹ́ wà láyé dá o àmọ́ yìí o àwa mọ̀ yìí àtún ìmọ̀ o.
That's Kolu in Abeokuta a few days ago, where he said they are hiding the fuel. They are hiding the new notes. Okay? But no matter what, they will vote and they will win. That PDP, then he switches to PDP straight away, like now PDP, they keep the fuel. So one Lagos Abobaku. I was reading this on Twitter, and this Wiri was explaining how smart Tinubu is. According to him, Tinubu knows that those who are trying to sabotage him, working for Buhari and the rest, they are indirectly working for Atiku. That if I don't understand, that it was Atiku with the help of those working for Buhari, that collaborated with Emefiole to keep the naira away and keep the fuel away. That Tinubu knows, and that is why he was calling them out. That it is a politics. That I was like, what are you talking about? Like in my head, I was like, what's he talking about? He wrote this nonsense all along, right? Trying to explain how PDP and Peter Obi Labour Party are those behind the currency scarcity and fuel scarcity. He said, everybody knows that this change of naira was because of Tinubu. Sorry, was because of the election, rather. And the only person that is likely going, that is sure of winning is Tinubu only. So therefore, this policy is targeted at Tinubu. And then when somebody was like, Bob, Emefiole works for Buhari now, was like, no. It was not Buhari that appointed Emefiole. It was PDP. PDP, they were those who appointed Emefiole. And Emefiole was planted in Buhari's government to destroy the government. But Buhari said he agrees with the policy and all of that. Was like, because Emefiole misled him. This is the narrative they are selling in their own stupid mind of separating Buhari and Tinubu from APC in a way that they mean well, but PDP has taken over the control of Buhari's government, but they can't say that to Buhari's face. Do you see the trick? So what they are now trying to do now is that Ashiwaju love Nigeria so much that he cares so much about you, and that is why he raised the alarm about them keeping the naira and keeping the fuel away from you. I said, but who is the Minister of Petroleum in Nigeria? I said, is Buhari or is Sheshe? Do you expect Buhari to go to the port and bring the petrol? Is it not people that will go? I said, you see, you are still living it in Ayabi. The thing still they bite you now. I mean, so the thing still they scratch you now. It never bite you now. So in the next few days, it should. So, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the victims of APC, Egbekegbe, in the last 7 years, we say Buhari is going nowhere. No, it's not going anywhere. It will finish what he starts. And you will support him to the end of what he started. There are millions of victims of APC, Egbekegbe, More Nigerians have been killed. More have been kidnapped. Nigerians now pay ransoms like they are paying the loan shark. Your life or your money, your life or your land. That's the situation under APC. A lot of you didn't feel that, do you? Buhari, Tinubu went to Benue and he said that Buhari increased the price